Congratulations to Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim on their gold medal.
I admire Simone in so many different ways. We've built such an amazing relationship and has really just helped me with my career overall.
Championship point for Jardim and Todd. And Jardim ends it with a huge forehand.
Been so much fun playing with Parris for sure and spending some time with her.
Simone Jardim and Parris Todd are your women's doubles gold medal winners.
Simone saying it's been so much fun playing with Parris Todd. It's a lot more fun when you win, which that duo has done time and time again here on the APP Tour this season. They are trying to make it back to Championship Sunday. They will be facing Rane and Bobbi Oshiro. These are a pair that know each other well. Parris Todd, the 25-year-old out of Fort Myers, Florida, 15 gold medals on tour this year. Incredibly successful season for Parris Todd.
Yeah, they're playing very well. Again, they hit a bump last week, but they're looking to answer. And that's the one good thing about when you have a back-to-back tournament. You could look at it from both ways. If you won it, you want to get right back to it because you think you're going to win again. You want to win again. If you lost, you don't have that much longer before you're right back on the court competing again. So this is exactly what Parris Todd and Simone Jardim want, is to be back on the court.
Jardim, 9 golds on tour this season out of Naples, Florida. Has been involved in the game of pickleball for many years, has brought over a lot of players from tennis over to the sport of pickleball as well. Get a look at Rane. Rane, 25 years old, calls home Boca Raton, Florida, 4 medals on tour this year. Rane born in Saudi Arabia before moving to Rome, Georgia for boarding school. Played collegiate tennis at Florida Atlantic University, and she is paired with Bobbi Oshiro, who also has had a lot of success on tour this season. It's been a combination of partners for Oshiro, but no matter who she's been with, she has found ways to win, the 29-year-old out of Plantation, Florida.
Yeah, Oshiro is one of those plays that will surprise you. One, with the power that's coming out of her smaller frame, yeah. But two, also, you would anticipate that you can lob Oshiro or get a ball up and over her head, but she has an excellent vertical, and she just gets to a lot of balls that you're not anticipating to come back. But she's won gold in mixed doubles with Brendan Long. She has a silver with Megan Fudge in Sacramento. She has a silver with Millie Rane from St. Louis. So she's had some success.
Her and Megan, I believe, won silver in Punta Gorda. No. They took bronze in Punta Gorda because they have to look it up.
No, it was
her and Megan played really well.
Punta Gorda was Megan and Alex.
Yes.
Megan and Alex.
Yes, because we saw the same combination in New York City. But hearing you describe Bobbi that way, it reminds me, and I'm taking it old school, Jennifer Capriati.
Yep.
Smaller stature, ton of power, great footwork, and she'll track everything down.
She does. She's so quick, but like Chad said too, if you try and lob her, Bobbi Oshiro, like you said, from her small frame, has one of the hardest overheads in pickleball. She generates so much power, but we also love to see is the Bobbi Oshiro Millie Rane combo. Why is that? Because we talk about it a lot, is that they came into the sport together and played together and partnered together for that first year or so. So seeing them come back and it all come full circle and they play together again, it's very nice to see. They did take a silver medal in St. Louis where they lost to Susanna Barr and Megan Fudge in that gold medal match. So they do have the experience, they do have the talent, and this should be a good match.
What is it that makes the duo of Jardim and Todd so effective, though?
It's consistency. Consistent results, consistent play. They make their adjustments from week to week, and typically it's a smaller adjustment. This week it's had to be a little bit larger adjustment. They didn't play as clean in Atlanta. The communication in the middle of the court wasn't there, so there were a few things that had to be adjusted going into this week compared to previous weeks. But also, like we talked about at the Open, of the show with Bar and Diescu in mixed doubles. As you get deeper into a season, and Jardim and Todd have been on top all season long, when you start playing against them, and you know, Bar and Fudge have played finals against them six, 7 times.
Yep.
Then you start figuring out the patterns. You start figuring out the sequences. And Jardim and Todd had been able to adjust enough throughout the season that it was there. But you can only adjust so much. Until you know your patterns.
It's Alabama football in Georgia. It's the top until everyone else finds a way to play with you and eventually beat you. And then how do you now counter that and raise your level?
And it's so easy when you're not on top.
Right.
When you're on top, it's more difficult because, again,
all the pressure's on you.
All the pressure's on you. You know that everyone is gunning for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to bring their best game against you. They're going to bring their best game plan against you. It's so tough to have that target on your back and then to consistently stay there like Jardim and Todd have.
Well, I'd much rather be an underdog than a favorite.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because you, as the underdog, you don't have the pressure of that you're expected to win.
You have nothing to lose in that situation.
Yeah.
We are moments away here from first serve here on Championship Court as Parris, Todd, and Simone Jardim getting ready to take on Rane and Bobbi Oshiro. Todd and Jardim taking down Riley Bonert and Emily Ackerman in their previous match, 6-4. Rane and Oshiro went to 3 in their previous match.
Todd and Jardim were actually down 1-4 in game 2 and rattled off 10 straight to end that one.
That's kind of one of those you don't leave the door open for a good team too long because they will find ways to come back and win. As Parris Todd starts us off. And Oshiro putting one into the net.
Chances are that ball's going off the back fence. Especially with the wind behind Jardim and Todd right now.
Jardim stepping in, but it clips the tape, side out.
Yeah, and that's a ball that she really likes hitting, taking that reach-in forehand and going cross-court, but with the wind pushing it down, it drops below the net. She catches the net cord, pushes it wide.
Good decision there from Jardim going at the hip of Rane.
0-1-2.
Todd comes up short.
Good control right there from Bobbi Oshiro. She likes to pull the trigger with that two-handed backhand. Decides not to. Parris Todd's sitting right there in the forehand middle.
That is a powerful backhand there from Todd.
Yeah, it takes it right into that right hip of Rane, and even though Rane is somewhat sitting on it, she almost catches too much paddle because there's so much paddle, so much power coming from Todd on that speed up.
Second server.
Error off the forehand side.
1-1-2.
1-1-2 here in the early goings of game number 1 on Championship Court. Jardim showing a lot of patience, waiting until she got an elevated ball to put it away for the point.
And it really wasn't even that elevated. She created that. It was elevated enough that she could get underneath it and get it out of the air, but she creates all that topspin in misdirection. Beautifully done by Jardim.
A little bit too much topspin there on the serve, side out.
1-2-1. Second server.
An angle there from Jardim, pulling Rane all the way off the court.
Yeah, the top spin combined with the angle there, that ball just kicked up on Rane. A little bit of a miss hit. And that one, she just pushes a little too wide.
Well, the one thing you cannot afford to do against Simone Jardim and Parris Todd is you cannot play pickleball where you have a lot of errors.
Yeah, you have to play clean.
I was going to say unclean, but that didn't sound right.
you have to play clean, and,
Yeah.
and it's the same with bar and fudge.
Oshiro cracking up, apologizing to Jardim, but again, that's the power. Watch this ball come off Oshiro's paddle. That ball is on Jardim in a second.
A nice backhand flick there from Jardim.
Like, easy flick, just walking into it.
The thing that strikes me as Jardim strikes Oshiro, the thing that strikes me about watching Todd and Jardim is they never really look pressed, even in big pressure moments.
Sorry, there's a running thing between Simone and Bobbi as far as hitting each other. So that's where Bobbi hit Simone with the overhead and said, "I got you, Simone," and then Simone pulls the trigger there and goes with Bobbi. We were with Oshiro a couple of months ago in Nashville, and we always joke around how strong she is on the overhead, that any ball over the net is technically an overhead for her. So we're working on her getting lower and just turning every ball into an overhead.
Nice counter there from Todd.
Yeah, Parris Todd continuing to put pressure on right there and not take her foot off the gas.
Jardim cuts it just a little bit too much. Sails wide. 1 point for Oshiro and Rane. 2-4-2. Oh, nice backhand from Todd to thread the needle.
Well, that was a good initial drive from Rane. Kept it low, but then the great reset there from Jardim. Keep him in it.
It's footwork right there from Jardim. She's going for the one-hand speed up, but almost the lunge forward there gets that ball on her too quickly.
Sprays the backhand wide just outside of the line. Quick side out. Wen catching a hold of that one and sailing it long.
Yeah, the wind at the back of Jardim and Todd right now. And we saw it come into play in the last match a little bit too.
That's a nice put away there from Oshiro on an elevated ball with backhand flick.
Well, it was the big serve pushing Jardim back off the baseline. She wasn't able to get up to the kitchen line there, and the excellent drop from Rane.
Oshiro and Rane take their first lead of game number 1 as the error by Todd makes it 5-4-1.
Oh.
Friendly net cord.
Turns around and laughs with Parris Todd, her partner. Does Jardim. She's going to take that all day.
Take it how you can get it. Rane stepping in and sending it long as Todd and Jardim able to earn the side out.
Nice little run, though, there from Oshiro and Rane. Take a 1-point lead.
Oh, that was an easy ball in Jardim.
Well,
Did Rane call it out? She called it out.
It was out.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
out, but the
And she
wind,
missed it.
the wind pushed that ball
Yeah.
deep.
Swing path and speed was good.
And now Oshiro with a forehand that sails long. So the wind really factoring in these last couple of points. Oh, how about the hands from Oshiro and Rane?
Oh, nice hands from all four of these ladies
Yeah.
right here in the middle of that little firefight. And you watch everyone's like, oh, well, Bobbi Oshiro, great two-handed backhand. She's got a nasty one-hander, too, and she'll roll that. She's Kind of will put that on display right there.
Yeah, nice spot there from Todd. Quick speed up in the right hip of Oshiro. She's sitting a little heavy backhand.
There's
Yeah.
There's that one-hander right on display. Instead of getting too big with the two-hander, she just lets that second hand off right here and just flips that back down the middle.
6-5-2. Jardim again getting the net cord to go her way, and it's a side out. There's just nothing you can do as an opponent on that.
No.
Dive.
Ooh, too
Rane
big.
Yep, too big at the kitchen line.
Yeah, and the pressure from Jardim and Todd right there, putting a little bit more pace behind that. Rane was trying to go bigger and bigger. That ball's going to lean in.
The miscommunication in the middle there from Rane and Oshiro. Someone's got to take that.
A well-placed forehand from Todd. Makes it 7-6. Jardim going for the speed up.
Yeah, again, just coming down the footwork, rushing through that one. When you stand up, you end up changing the contact point, catching a little too much of the top of the ball.
Oh, Parris Todd made the hard play, couldn't make the easy one.
Yeah, great defense from Parris Todd right here as Millie Rane lights her up right at the body.
Let's just save your face mode right there.
Jardim driving Oshiro back. An error on the third. 6-7-2. Nice speed up from Todd, earns herself a side out.
The good thing there is the first attack. She doesn't try to go middle because Rane and Oshiro are kind of hugging that middle there. She goes wider and it pulls Rane out and then opens up the middle again.
Through the wickets. Point. Jardim and Todd.
Oh, 5-hole on Oshiro right there. She goes right between her legs with this overhead. And issue right there is she was still backing up as Jardim is about to hit that. As soon as Jardim goes to swing, she just got to plant her feet, play defense.
Yeah, little short on the extension there from Todd. She tried to add a little bit more topspin, cut off the finish.
Jardim just a little bit too much there on the forehand.
Yeah, again, the big take back. And that just comes down to body position, right? If you're standing a little tall, it's easier to take that paddle back. If the chest and the chin stay over the toes, then it shortens up that backswing.
That time Jardim can't make the pickup. Another point for Oshiro and Rane. This has been back and forth here early on in game number one, 7-8-1. Jardim saying, yeah, that's a nice shot as Oshiro getting a friendly pop-up off the net cord for the put-away.
Again, any ball like that for Oshiro, you're in trouble. So much power.
What is it about Oshiro's mechanics that give her such power on the overhead?
Her technique is perfect, right? Coming from tennis, all those years of tennis, her technique is absolutely perfect. And her contact point is out in front of her when she makes contact. It's not above her head. That's where Chad and I have mentioned before. An overhead that you hit correctly is not over your head. it's out in front of you. If you're hitting it over your head, that means you're almost hitting it behind you. Your contact point is off. You're not going to get any power on it. How you get power on is when you're out in front and you can see that ball out in front of you, and that's what Oshiro does better than anybody.
It's the same as throwing a ball, right? If my release point when I let go of that is over my head, where's that ball going to go? It's going to keep sailing up and out. So if you're looking to add more power to your overhead, think about throwing your paddle at the ball, and what it does is it gets you out in front, and then it activates the wrist to get the extension through that ball as well.
Where were you and Dom and I were playing carnival games at the Texas State Fair the other day?
Oh, I can't wait for that video to come up.
Oh, it is a surprise and a treat for everyone involved. A little frustration from Jardim and Todd here over the last couple of points as Oshiro and Rane have earned themselves a game point. Jardim and Todd able to fight off the first game point. Still one coming.
That's just great pressure right there from Simone Jardim. She started it, and she was not going to back off there.
10-8-2. Todd hits an out ball in the first game, goes the way of Oshiro and Rane. Jardim and Todd will try and force a decisive game 3 when we return here on Championship Court. There's more from the APP Dallas Open.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the APP Tour.
Hey, Jake from State Park. You know, it's really scary.
Popcorn with no butter.
No, getting insurance. I mean, what if the jargon makes me feel alone and in the dark?
Hey, at State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Sorry. Is that seat taken?
Get on up here, buddy. Let's go. Let's go.
Want some water? Yeah, for my cup of ale. I saw.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
The Pro XR Pickleball Paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
The APP is presented by Pro XR, C&D Nets, Discount Tire, and Sports Illustrated.
First serve from Bobbi Oshiro here in game number 2 after she and Millie Rane took game 1 against Simone Jardim and Parris Todd. And Rane sends the forehand long as Todd and Jardim earn a quick side out. Jardim and Todd haven't been tested that much here so far today. Going to have to try and go to 3 for the first time in this tournament. That's a pretty put away there from Todd for the point.
And almost if she lets that ball go,
It's
probably going out.
More than likely.
Parris Todd jumps all over that two-handed backhand, punishes it back down through the middle.
Jardim getting a little bit too big there once again, pulls the forehand wide off the court.
Well, it's just a tough situation to be speeding up from right there. The first speed up down the line was a sneak attack right there, but a good job from Rane getting it back, and it just caught Jardim off guard.
Oh, beautiful construction there. Jardim making sure she got a great angle for the point.
Well, she never gets under pressure here. Watch her. She just knows where to go with that ball as Oshiro comes over for the poach. But it was an all or nothing there from Oshiro. If she doesn't put it away, her side is wide open, and that's what Simone Jardim finds.
Jardim can't make the pickup. There was some tremendous defense in the middle of that point from Parris Todd.
Yeah, Parris and Simone Jardim on their heels there, playing defense. Almost got back into a 50-50 ball.
Point for Rane and Oshiro as the forehand goes into the net.
Yeah, just too big there from Jardim, standing up tall.
Too much on the forehand as that was well long.
Yeah, again, wind at their back here for Oshiro and Rane, and she just comes up through that a little too much, puts a little too much on it, and with that wind behind them, ball's way long.
And Jardim caught in an awkward position trying to back up and with the backhand.
I think that ball skipped right off that sideline.
Makes it 2-2-2.
Wow. I mean, the hands from both Rane and Oshiro. And you're watching Rane, too, and she's moving extremely well up at the kitchen line. Shuffling side to side, staying square to the net.
That side out stops a run of 3 straight points for Bobbi Oshiro rather, and Millie Rane.
They are one. They are one.
Well, they're playing like it right now.
They are.
Rane sending it a little bit long. She's had some trouble on that forehand side finding the right range.
Well, again, when you put too much power on it with the wind behind you, those are good balls, but the wind is adding the additional power and just pushing it deep.
Is the adjustment then as a player just to have less power and more spin to get that ball to come down in the court?
Yeah, you have to go for a shorter backswing, add a little bit more shape to it.
Another point for Todd and Jardim.
Yeah, that ball never came up for Rane on the return, so there was a little bit of hesitation coming forward. Jardim catching her as she was still moving.
Todd trying to shape it around the post, but it sails long. Side out.
Well, it was there. It went over. She had the angle, but she just hit it a little too hard.
Rane comes up short on the third.
Yeah, Rane moving through that ball. Didn't get a solid base there for that drop.
Nice step in on the backhand side from Todd.
Well, Todd jumps to the middle right here and reads the speed up from Oshiro nicely. And then the key here is she doesn't get too big. She just punches that right back where it came from and jams up Oshiro.
Todd, an incredibly accomplished tennis player before moving to pickleball. 85 titles to her name. As Rane can't come up with the forehand. Another point for Jardim and Todd.
Yeah, that's a tough ball to take from between your feet as it's dipping and an inside-out forehand, or almost a change of direction.
A smart decision there as that ball sails long.
It's a nice speed up there from Todd. The ball gets behind Oshiro with the wind. Impossible to try to keep that one in.
Simone Jardim and Parris Todd have doubled up Bobbi Oshiro and Millie Rane 6-3 here in game number 2. Towards the end of game number 1, Todd and Jardim looked a little bit hesitant. What is it about their game that's allowed them to come out more confidently here in game 2?
They've lost the hesitation, right? They're pulling the trigger when they want to now. So what do they need to do right now? What have they done? They've started to be the initiator, right? So they're pulling the trigger, setting up balls instead of letting Oshiro and Rane come in and pull that trigger and set up what they want. It is Jardim and Todd now coming in, pulling that trigger early on when they want to dictate points and coming in and finishing. And they've done a really good job, especially I'm looking at Parris Todd has kind of filled some spots, and she's made up for some miscues that she had in game number 1. So a good bounce back game for her.
Is it more of a mental strategy or is it point construction?
It's a little bit of both, obviously. You lose that first. Now mentally you could be drained in knowing you have to win 2, but then it comes down to the physical, filling those holes in the middle and then pulling the trigger at the right time.
Jardim comes up short and really?
Yeah, a little bit of a miss hit there off the bottom edge guard.
Back-to-back errors earns Oshiro and Rane a side out, still trailing 6-3.
Good timeout there, I would say, from Rane and Oshiro. Quick side out in their favor. And 3 unforced errors for Jardim. Very uncharacteristic here. She'll take a little longer walk back to the baseline here and try and regroup.
Tried to step in with the backhand roll. And Jardim wants a timeout as that is 4 straight errors off of the paddle of Simone Jardim.
Yeah, she's trying to go right at the body and force Oshiro into a play here. And unfortunately goes a little long, and Oshiro and Rane right back into it.
Oshiro and Rane scoring back-to-back points coming out of the timeout. They were able to side out back-to-back points, now trailing by 1 here in game number 2. And this is kind of the point in game number 1 as well, where they started to assert their will a little bit more, were able to take the momentum on their way to a game 1 win.
Yeah, and again, it helps when you have some errors on the other side, but again, now they need to use this momentum going in through the second game. I suspect Jardim has fixed that. They call that timeout. Should be right back in here.
5-6-1. Todd tries to let it go long, but it sails, or it lands in rather.
Oh, that was a good misdirect from Rane right there. It actually beat Todd down the line. The ball sat out from Jardim.
Oh, it's identical to what just happened on the flip side. Jardim does right in front of Oshiro. Watch her hold this ball on her paddle. She lets the ball get outside her left hip, so lets the ball travel past her and then just flips it right down that line.
And Jardim says it's good, lands just on the line off of the paddle of Millie Rane. 7-6-2. Todd tries to step in on the backhand side, an error, and it's now 8-6 in favor of the number 4 seed.
Well, we've seen that a couple times before from Todd just getting a little too big, trying to put an exclamation point on that. Well, that ball never came up to her on the serve.
And checking the ball to look at the bounce, and Todd wants a new one, but it is a 3-point margin now for Bobbi Oshiro and Millie Rane as they are within 2 of knocking the top seed into the back draw.
Such a
nice lob
good
there.
lob right there from Jardim at the perfect time. Neither Oshiro or Rane were expecting that at all. They got so flat-footed right there. Beautiful spot.
And how about the vision, though, by Jardim to see that? That time, Oshiro not able to come up with the backhand point for Jardim and Todd.
So the adjustment for Jardim since that timeout is that she's now using her legs. She's staying down in the athletic position. Well, that ball kicks off the line as well.
That's a couple of lines that have been unkind to Parris Todd.
And we see that all the time from Jardim. She'll make one or two mistakes, and what does she do? She goes back to basics. She sits, she squats, she gets lower, and she works her way out of it from a low to a high position.
Todd, that ball a little bit behind her as Oshiro and Rane earn the side out. That's kind of a lesson for all sports, though, is to go back to basics, especially in big moments. The Ernie from Rane ends up being a point as Jardim and Todd can't get it back.
Nice move there from Millie Rane, reading that, and that gives them
match point. Jardim targeting the right hip of Rane.
Yeah, Rane's doing a little too much on backhand there, so as Jardim speeds it up to the right hip and Rane comes across still sitting backhand, even though she makes good contact, pulls that ball wide.
Forehand long as 2 match points are wasted. Side out goes back over to Jardim and Todd.
Well, that one's sitting on the paddle of Millie Rane. Mark that in your scorebooks because that's a missed opportunity to end that match right there for Millie Rane.
Rane that time being a little bit more patient, goes right behind Simone Jardim on the forehand.
Well, good makeup there from Rane as she did sneak Jardim into the middle and goes behind. Beautifully done. Good recognition from Rane.
Winner from Jardim threads the needle with the forehand.
Yeah, nice pull down the line that takes a little step back, but stays in that athletic position and can disguise the speed up down the line.
Oh, how about the vision from Oshiro to see that open court behind Todd?
And she almost backed off it on purpose here, so she could almost see where Parris Todd's going to go. She backs off, sees Todd slide, finish.
There it is.
And on match point number 3, Todd sends the return long, so Bobbi Oshiro and Millie Rane knock off the top seed in the women's doubles draw, Simone Jardim and Parris Todd. We will hear from the winners when we return here on Championship Court at the APP Dallas Open.
18 years from tonight, Grant Gill will become a legend when he totally kills it at his improv class's graduation performance. Knees will be slapped, suds will be sprayed. People won't know what hurts more, their cheeks or their sides. That's why he's already keeping himself in shape and razor sharp today with health tips and wellness tools from AARP to help make sure his health lives as long as he does. Because the younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Bobbi family to yours. Fine cured meats we've been crafting since 1902. Our secrets are simple. Care comes from the time it takes to do things right. Character comes from the hard work and determination it takes to make it. Craft comes from the traditions passed down over 4 generations. Delicious doesn't need to be complicated. That's the Bobbi way, where passion and love go into everything we do. From John and Armando and Lorenza and Gianna, from our family to yours.
We started this mission in tennis about 5 years ago. We've been perfecting our craft and our tools. We now see a phenomenal opportunity to take all that and bring it into pickleball to support an emerging ecosystem that's booming. And it's a super complementary partnership for us with the experience and the existing events that are up and running, the recreational element of APP. It's a fantastic 1 + 1 is going to equal 4. So we're thrilled to be partnering with APP.
We'll take a look back at the last 2 points here from Bobbi Oshiro and Millie Rane. Oshiro sneaking that one behind Parris Todd, and then match point for Bobbi Oshiro and Millie Rane. They're moving on here in the women's doubles bracket. Dominic Catalano is courtside with both our players.
All right, Bobbi, Millie, first and foremost, congratulations. Moving on to the winter bracket final. But, Bobbi, we were talking before you came on. It's about making adjustments in a match like this with the wind and all those kind of factors. What adjustments did you guys make?
With the adjustments, we just kind of reminded each other the direction of the wind, and if we played against the wind, we had a certain game plan there, and if we played with the wind, just making sure we understand that, hey, we're on that side. Let's be able to be a little bit more disciplined with our shot making.
And Millie, you guys got down in both games and then end up coming back and winning. What was it that you guys talked about after you got down that got you guys back?
I think really it's just our confidence in each other. I can hit a ball 10 feet wide, and Bobbi will be like, I like that, keep going for it. So it's just trusting each other and trusting our games.
And real quick, that trust, you guys came into the game. I've known you guys since you guys started, coming into the game together and seeing you guys play together. It's always great to see, but how is it for you two?
It's awesome. We've been playing with each other for a very long time, so we both know each other's games. We grew a lot with each other. We know whose ball is which. We talk about it. We communicate with that each other, and so we really trust each other's shot making. So that definitely really helps in doubles here.
All right, well, congratulations, ladies. Moving on to that winter bracket final, where they'll play Megan Fudge and Susanna Barr, a rematch of St. Louis. Next up here on Championship Court, though, men's doubles at the APP Dallas Open.